showing you two methods in which we can solve the famous palindrome problem. We'll be using pointers throughout this course, and this video will make use of the C programming language. We'll implement the palindrome, so the solution to this palindrome problem in C, and we'll be making use of pointers. Okay, just stay with me till the end of the video, because we'll be talking about a very elegant solution to this palindrome problem, something which probably you have never seen till now. Okay, so first we'll start with the standard way making use of pointers. So before we begin, we need to include the stdio.h hash include stdio.h and I'll also be using the std bool, so that I can include std bool, so that I can use the bool instead of using integers. I can use booleans. Okay, and we'll be making use of the string also, because we need to calculate the length of a string. So I'll be using the string library string.h. okay, so I'll write the main function. The main function is quite simple, just printf %d \n. So I'll call this as palindrome 1, and I'll just pass a string, and this is a palindrome because it reads the same in both directions. Okay, so it reads the same in both directions. Oops. Okay, so we need to implement this this function palindrome 1. So let us go ahead and do it. This will return a bool palindrome 1, and the input is a pointer to a character. So this is the string on which we'll be testing for palindrome. So the logic which I am going to use in this function is the popular one, that you have a pointer to the beginning of the string and a pointer to the end of the string, and we go on incrementing the start pointer and go on decrementing the end pointer. So until the pointers either cross each other, or until we encounter two characters which are not equal. Okay, so let us do that now. We need a variable. So this is the imperative approach to solving this problem. So we need a variable where we store the status. Like for example, I need a variable called, I'll take a variable called palindrome, which I keep as 2. So initially I'm going to assume that every string is a palindrome. Okay, so in case I encounter two characters which are not equal in the string, so I'll set this variable, I'll set to false, and then I'll return. Okay, as simple as that. So let us go ahead now. I need a pointer to the first character, so this I'll call as start. So char star start equals str, so that will be str is nothing but the address of the first character. The same thing we can do it for the last character. So to get the address of the last character, we can get the length. We need the length of str -1. So this will give me the address of the last character. Okay, so I'll name this as end. So now I have two pointers. One is the start, another one is the end. Start is pointing to the first character, end is pointing to the last character of the string. Okay, so now I need to write the for loop. You can use a while loop if you want. So I need to keep on looping till till the pointers have not overlapped. Okay, so start is less than end, go on looping till start is less than end, and after every iteration I need to increment the start and decrement the end. Okay, now I have this now that I have this setup, we can go ahead and implement the comparison. So say if the start is not equal to the end, that means the character which is pointed to by the start pointer is, if it is not equal to the character which is pointed to by the end character, end pointer, then I will set the palindrome flag will be set to false. The palindrome flag will be set to false, and that is where we need to break out of the loop. Okay, so if you have exited the loop in a proper manner, that means it is a palindrome. So I'll just return this variable palindrome. Okay, so let us test this program now. We don't need these things. So the editor which I am using is Visual Studio Code. Let me just compile this program. So palindrome.c. So no errors, no warnings, that's a good sign. So it is saying 1, that means it is a palindrome. So let me change the string here, something like that. So this is not a palindrome, so it should tell me, it should give the output as a 0. So yeah, so we are getting a 1 when it is a palindrome, we are getting a 0 when it is not a palindrome. Fine. This one is the imperative way of solving the problem, and it may seem to be, of course it is, it appears to be very easy, and it is for the novice programmers, but we can also implement this in a different way, and this is the elegant solution which I talked about in the beginning of the video. So another way of doing this solving this problem is something like this. So if you have a string like this, Gadag, so I can say that this is a palindrome. Okay, how do I check whether it is a palindrome? So if the first and the last characters are equal, okay, so listen to this carefully, if the first and the last characters are equal and this string in the middle is a palindrome. Okay, so I hope you are following this. Let me repeat this once again. So I can say that this entire string is a palindrome if the first and the last characters are equal and this middle string is a palindrome. So the next question will be, how can I say that this middle string is a palindrome? This middle string is a palindrome if the first and last characters of this string are equal and the middle string is again a palindrome. Okay, so this is a recursive solution this is a recursive solution to this problem, and probably you have not seen something like this. Okay, so let us go ahead and implement this, and you will see that this is going to be much more elegant than the one which we have seen right now. Okay, so here it is. Let us try this out. So I'll call this function as isPalindrome. So isPalindrome. So this will again take a pointer to a character. Right. So as I said, this solution relies on the fact. So we need to first identify the base case of this recursive. Whenever you have a recursive solution, you need to first identify a base case. So the base case here is when the first and the last characters, when the pointer to the first character and the pointer to the last character, so they have crossed each other, so that is when we have to end, right? So okay, so I'll just define that function, bool recursive palindrome or something like that. Yeah, palindrome, we'll give it as palindrome. Char star start, okay, char star start and char star end. So I need two pointers, one to the first and another one to the last character. Okay. So I can say return. So if these two characters, if the first character is equal to the last character, if this is the case, so I am using the conditional operator here. So if the first character is equal to the last character, then I need to check whether then I need to do something else, like I need to also check whether the middle string is now a palindrome. Okay, so no, this is not the way. If the first character, or let us do it like this, if start is less than the end, that means they have crossed each other. If start is less than end, okay, if start is less than end, then we need to return it true, because that means it is a palindrome, we have found a palindrome, right? Otherwise we need to return the status of something like this. So we need to return the status of star of start equals star of end. That means the first character and the last character are equal, and the return status, the recursive palindrome of start +1 and end -1. So I think this should work. Just to I think this should work. So the logic which I am trying to apply here is that I just say return. First you need to check whether the start and the end pointers have crossed each other. So if they have crossed, if they have crossed, then return a true. Otherwise return the status of this entire expression. So this expression says that check whether the first and the last characters are equal and whether the middle string is a palindrome. So how do I get the middle string again? By incrementing the start and decrementing the end. Okay, so I think this should work. So let me just call this function. So I say return recursive palindrome of str and str plus so I need to add the length again, so strlen of str -1. Yes. So me call this function. We need to call this from the main function here. I'll just copy this, paste it here. We'll comment out this line. I'll call the recursive palindrome, RECP is in caps here. Okay, so this should return a 0. Okay, we have an error here. Too few arguments to function. Okay, it should not be recursive palindrome, it should be is palindrome, because recursive palindrome is called from is palindrome. So we have this function name as is palindrome. Okay, fine. Oops, so we are getting a 1 here. I guess there is a small error in the logic. Let me just parse this once again. If there is an error, it should be here. So if the start and the end pointers have crossed each other, okay, so when they cross each other, actually start becomes greater than the end. So start becomes greater than the end. Yeah, so that was the error here. Okay, so I think it is working. Let us give a palindrome now. Kathak. /a.out. Yes. So it is giving a 1 when I give it a palindrome, and is giving a 0 when I give it a non-palindrome. We can make this a little bit more beautiful. By writing it something like this. So I'll use the puts now, just to make it more clear. Puts is palindrome, conditional expression. If this is true, then I say palindrome, else I say not palindrome. Okay. So now it is saying palindrome. So this should be not palindrome. Yes. So this was a little bit long video, and it was a little bit difficult for me to explain also. I hope you understood the logic at least, and as you can see here, this is a much more elegant solution to the standard one which we have done here using the imperative approach. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and please subscribe to our channel. And we keep solving many problems here. We have already 2 videos, one in Python, another one in JavaScript, of solving the non-unique elements, finding non-unique elements in an array. So if you want to look at those videos, please click on the links which I am going to share below. Okay, so thank you for listening. See you in my next video. Bye.